Hey guys, this is Costa, and today I'm gonna show you how you can use Backtrader to test your algorithmic trading strategies using Python. I'll show you how you can install Backtrader, how we can set a default cash amount for our portfolio, how to add data that we've downloaded in episode 1, and execute two basic strategies. The first one will be to just log each line of our data, and the second one will be buy and hold strategy, essentially seeing how much money we could have made if we invested in SPY 20 years ago. Let's start. First, to install Backtrader, we have to do pip install Backtrader plotting. Mine here it says requirement already satisfied because I've done this before, but it might take some time on your system depending on your configuration. So let's start. First, let's import Backtrader. Next, we can initialize Backtrader using bt.cerebro. And basically this initializes Backtrader using some default values. For example, the portfolio value will be set to 10,000 US dollars. And we can check that by doing print f dot by using the get value function, and then in order to run our strategy, which in this case we don't have any, we can do cerebro.run, and then we can print the final value of our portfolio. Let's run this and see what it returns. As you can see, we have a starting value of 10,000 and the final value is also 10,000 because here in this step we didn't make any buy or sell orders. Now let's try to set a cash amount that's different from the default. So here we can do cerebro.broker.set cash to, let's say, 100,000. And if we run this, we can see that this change, and now we have $100,000 to start with. Next, let's add some data to Cerebro. So if you see on the previous episode, we've downloaded the SPY dataset for the past 20 years. So here we can see the date, open, high, low, close, adjusted close, and volume. And conveniently, Backtrader has a class that already knows how to parse this CSV file, and we can use that. So here we can do data equals bt.feeds, and then we can say Yahoo Finance CSV data, and it takes 3 parameters. First is the data name, which will be the path that I'm running this from. So for us will be episode 2/spy.csv, and here it takes a from date equals to datetime, and here we can say 2000 January 1st, and the to date will be datetime again dot datetime 2020 December 31st, and we have to import datetime as well. So here we can do import datetime, and let's add this data to Cerebro. So we have to do Cerebro dot add data, and then pass our data. let's run it and see if everything works as expected. We didn't get any error, so I'm assuming that this works as expected. Now let's move on and create a really simple strategy that will print each line of our CSV data. So I'll move everything to a function, so it's a bit more organized. So here we can say def run, and let's move everything under this function. And here we can execute this. Everything still works as expected. Now let's add a really simple strategy that will print each line of our CSV data. In order for Backtrader to understand that we have a strategy, we have to create a class and then inherit from bt.strategy parent class. So let's say class log data strategy, and this has to inherit from bt.strategy, as we've said. And this gives us some lifecycle methods that we can use when the strategy is initialized, or on each line of our data, or at the end of our strategy, and stuff like that. So for the purposes of just logging our data, we'll use the function that it gets called on every time that we have a new line in our CSV file. And for that, we can use def next, which is the lifecycle method that gets called every time that we have a new row in our CSV file. So here we can do, let's say, let's get the closing price and the date. So here we can do close equals self.data 0 dot close 0, and then let's say date equals self dot data 0 dot date time dot date 0. And here we can use just print and print our data. We can do f date and the closing price. And the final step for this will be to add our strategy to Backtrader, so it knows which strategy to use. So for that we can do bt.add, we can do cerebro.add strategy, and then give the class name of our strategy. And if we run this, hopefully, yeah, we'll see that it goes through all the lines in our CSV and it prints the closing price. So let's check for December 30. So it's the last day in our CSV file. So if we see here December 30, the closing price was 369.57, which is it uses this, which it's within our CSV file. This is the adjusted close price, but if you can see here, we have more decimal places, but here we just print only 2 decimal places. That's it for our simple strategy. Now let's go ahead and create just the buy and hold strategy. Let's delete this. And let's say class buy and hold. Again, we have to inherit from bt.strategy class. We need another function as well, which is the constructor of our class, just to get the initial portfolio valuation. So here we can do self.start equals self.broker.get cash, which it will give us the initial money that we have in our portfolio. And we can also need another a variable called order exists, which I will set to false for now. And next, let's use the next function. And here we can say if not self.order exists, we have to make a buy order. So let's say make a buy order. And we have to determine the size. So here I want to invest all the money of our portfolio. So we can say int self.broker.getCash divided by self.data, which will give us in units how much stock of SPY we can buy. And next we can do self.buy and give the size equals size, and then we have to flip the switch so we don't make any other buy orders. So here we can say the order exists, and let's add our strategy here, and let's run and see what happens. Okay, so we have an error. Yeah, here I just miss to call the function. So let's try again. As you can see here, we've started with $100,000 and we've ended up with 380,173.5, which is a really good amount. And last, we can calculate the return on investment, or ROI for short. So we can use another life cycle method, which is called stop, which will only run once when our strategy stops or after the last line in our CSV file. So we can say ROI equals self.broker.getValue divided by self.falseStart, and this will give us the multiplier basically of our money. And we can say print f ROI equals ROI. Let's see. So here, yeah, as you can see, we have a 3.8, which means that from the starting value, if we multiply it by 3.8, then we get the final value. And as a final step, I would like to plot and see when the buy order happen and check like if everything seems okay. So for just plotting, we can do cerebro.plot, and let's run this again. Here we can see the data from January 2000 all the way to December 2020, and as you can see here, this green means that we had a buy order at this point when we've started processing our data, and we just hold all the way through 2020, and our portfolio valuation is 380,173.5. That's all. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, or if you have any issues running these, please subscribe. It means a lot for me. And on the next episode, we'll see some more advanced algorithmic strategies. And also, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. And I'll try to post this code on GitHub as well, so you can just copy it and run it on your machines and see for yourselves. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.